Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Sports Banter. I'm Z, he's B, and today, my goodness, what an episode we have in store for y'all. I am so excited. This is one that me and B, when we launched this channel, this is the episode that we dreamed of bringing together, and it's now coming for to fruition, man. So I'm
Yeah,
beyond thrilled. B, I'll hand it over to you to make the introduction
yeah, man.
and also let them know what's happening today, man.
We got we're talking about Manchester United today, as we said last episode, and we thought it's only right we bring the main man, one of the best United supporters since we go back to what 03, 97, 90, 98. We go back to 98, man. So this guy's been rocking him for
98.
a while. Been our boy since a long time. Grew up with him. My man, we'll call him Coach. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the stage, Coach.
Hey man, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys letting me come on here. I want to start by saying I love everything you guys are doing. It's sick. I love tuning into every single episode, except the ones where you're talking about my team, but it's okay. I'll let that slide. But nah, man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about the game. I'm excited to talk about both topics for both of our clubs. It's gonna
Yeah,
be an exciting day, baby.
yeah, man. We had to throw on the shades too. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
you
nah
know,
nah. Hey, this episode needed all the swagger in the books. We got the shades. I got the button up. He got the United jersey. Beto got the
come.
fresh cut. We
Yeah,
got to bring
okay.
it all.
I thought you was
We
gonna say I got the
got
white tee on.
nah. Hey, come on, man. You know I got you. Beto got the fresh cut, man.
Yes,
Big B
sir.
got the fresh cut.
Yes, sir.
And here we go, man. First topic. Really, want to open it up to you, Coach.
hmm
What are you feeling right now, man? This has been a turbulence. I wouldn't even say year. I would say a few years.
Yeah.
Yes, you've had cup runs and cup wins, and ultimately, that's success in its own. But overall, man, when it comes to the Premier League, it is not United standards. And I just want to, get your
Yeah.
insights into, how you see it, and are you optimistic about the future
Mm.
now with this new hire of a manager coming in?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna start by saying like you guys know my opinions on my baldy Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I personally would have liked to see us stick by him.
Wow.
But
Actually, I did not know that all the way, but go
oh,
ahead.
for real?
Yeah.
No. I would have liked to see us stick through the tough times with him. I'm just not. I'm not in general the biggest fan of the managerial carousel game that kind of plagues the sport nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's not a slight at Chelsea because I know you
I
guys
was
kind
gonna
of.
say, hey, we're the sons of that, man. That's all
Yeah,
we do, bro.
I mean we're not far
Hey,
off,
we're
man.
changing
This is
though. We're
like
changing though. 5-year
yeah, and
contract.
that's good to see.
Yeah.
But so I would have liked to see us stick with him. I think looking at what he has brought, he came into a team that didn't win anything for 6 years.
Hmm.
Delivered a trophy both seasons he was here, a top three finish the first season.
That's true.
But like you said, it has been turbulent. And when I did see that he got the sacking, I would be lying if I told you I wasn't surprised. I actually thought he was going to get sacked the week prior. I was actually kind of surprised he lasted as long as he did
Yeah.
that last week.
Oh,
And
wow.
it is a little bit poetic that the game he went out on, that West Ham game was down to a poor refereeing decision, a penalty that they've
Hmm.
now since rescinded, which is the second time this season for us. Well, I guess the first one was a red card, but neither here nor there.
Hmm.
So it's kind of poetic that it kind of went out in that way as well, in some respects. But yeah, it's been a rough, I'd say, 18 months at least. I think since we won the Carabao Cup in his first season, it's kind of generally gone a little downhill,
Yeah, man.
on the grand scheme of things. And I'm talking about performances, results. And we obviously saw the eighth place finish last season, salvaged
Yeah.
by the FA Cup. So um,
Mm,
I'm in a weird spot though because we sacked him. I didn't really want it to happen. Can't really argue with it.
Hmm.
Bringing in Amorim, it feels like we're repeating the same exact thing
Yeah.
we
It
went through
always
when we
feels like
hired
that.
Ten Hag. It's like the new sexy name on the block,
Yeah.
the hot manager taking his team on good European runs.
Yeah.
They're playing good football. You bring him in. How long is this gonna last before things turn sour? Is my
Yeah.
thing, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's a weird stage because I want to be excited and support him
Hmm.
as I do with
definitely.
the manager, but
Yeah. And we'll get into
how
that
long is it
more
gonna
about the
last?
future. But I wanted to know, and I do agree with you because I do think you guys actually played very well versus West Ham. It was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
The penalty was some BS, I do believe. And then Bruno had a great game. I'd say probably his best game of the season. He hasn't been great this year, but
Yeah, he hasn't been.
yeah, but
I think he's real fatigued,
yeah,
bro.
he probably is. But he's come on, he's working
Probably.
so hard for you guys, you know.
Yeah.
So I understand, and to kind of we'll get into Amorim and in the future, but what do you think went so wrong with, or maybe you didn't think it went so wrong, but what do you think didn't go well with Ten Hag,
Yeah.
and do you think it was the performance? Because the cup run, some of his stands say that he won 2 cups, and then other people are saying United shouldn't be a cup kind of team. We should be challenging for the league. So what do you think went wrong with him, really?
Yeah, honestly, man, it's tough to say.
Yeah.
Because and with what you kind of said, I agree with some aspects and I disagree with some aspects. I agree, yeah, it's like we shouldn't be hanging our hats on the cup runs. But I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's hard to scoff at them at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah. FA
especially
Cup is a
because
big tournament too, man.
yeah, and like
Absolutely, man.
yeah, and
Hey, trophies are trophies, man. We all, that's what we play this game for. At the end of the season, we look back at our cabinet and we see what silverware have we
Yeah,
gotten.
but
So it's not something.
football is it's double edged, man. You play good, they say you don't win. You don't win, they say
mhm,
you win. They say you don't play good. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah. That whole debate is real tough because look look at the manager prior,
Yeah,
Oli. I held him near and dear to my heart, still do.
You
But
did,
man,
yeah.
I
he
like Ole though. I ain't gonna lie.
bro, he got hammered, absolutely
Yeah,
Yeah.
hammered for almost 3 straight years. And the only thing that people kept throwing at us, anyone that supported him, is, oh, but he didn't win a trophy. He didn't win a trophy.
but
So
you
then
guys
we
were
bring
playing
in
some good football though. I remember with
exactly.
Ole.
We bring in Ten Hag. He delivers the trophies, but
Yeah,
now it's, oh, he's a fraud. He's a fraud.
yeah.
The
You
performances weren't
can't
great.
win.
So
You can't win if you
it's
listen
which
to the
one is
media.
it?
Yeah, that's why. That's
But
why
back
I do think. Sorry to cut you off, but
no
that's
no
why
go
I
ahead.
do think like man, is you really got to block out the noise, man. Like even as a Chelsea
Yeah.
fan, bro, like we have like you can't listen to the fans because they're never going to be pleased. It's like any profession. If you want to take
Mhm.
anything seriously, you just can't. But we want to please the fans. It's weird, but to be successful, you got to just tunnel vision, as they say. But back to
I,
you,
Yeah.
Z.
if I think there's a fine line between pleasing the fans and disrespecting the fans.
Mm,
And when it comes to Chelsea, we had I think it was the CEO when he wrote that letter to the fan base. It was very disrespectful, and
Mhm.
it lost a lot of the fan base.
Remind us
And
what it
that's why
was about.
it was just about he looks at us as a business, as a commodity.
Mm,
He looks at Chelsea as that as a whole, and fans, their experience doesn't matter. It's at the
yeah,
end of the day, it's all about the revenue that the club generates. It was around that line, and to us, that's not what the sport is about. The sport is as popular it is today because of
yeah.
the fans. And
Exactly.
yes, you're hired to do your job,
Mm-hmm.
and you are more expertise in that area, but at the same time the fans voice does matter, and it's just a fine line of playing the two. But
Facts,
right back
facts.
to you, coach,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
finish up
No,
your
no.
point.
I just wanted to revisit one thing. Mito kind of brought up. Just like where do I think it went wrong with Ten Hag?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, because it did definitely go
Yeah,
wrong.
that's what I want. I didn't want to say it went wrong. I don't know what you felt.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it did. Like, if we're just gonna be objective about
Yeah.
it, it went wrong.
Yeah,
That's why he got the sacking in the end. And it's tough to pinpoint exactly what it was because I don't. It's hard for me to like, even though the performances weren't great,
Yeah.
was it really his tactics? Because I mean, if you look back 2 years ago, everybody in the world was saying this guy is the best tactician
Yeah.
in
At
Europe. Like
Ajax.
his teams were great.
Mm-hmm.
So was it his tactics? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For what if I'm my personal belief is that I think there was a lot of noise from the outside, and I think he struggled to, block that noise
Yeah.
out from the squad. And I think it got to a point
definitely.
where the squad, I don't want to say because this actually might be one of the first times I didn't really see the squad as a whole kind of, how they say down tools and
Mm-hmm.
they kind of get the managers. I think they actually did try to fight for him
Yeah.
in the
Back him.
end. Yeah, I think they did because, like you said, the West Ham performances were good. Some of our European performances, even though
Yeah.
the results weren't there, I think we've been performing fairly well in Europe,
Yeah.
at least in glimpses.
Yeah.
So I think it went wrong in terms of just the way he managed the pressure
Yeah.
of the results going wrong, the performances not really being there, and then letting that seep into the squad. And I think a lot of people have said that maybe he lacks the charisma, the communication skills to get that point across and to garner
I
that
did hear
effort
that a
from the
lot.
squad. So I think that
No,
might be what let him down.
no, definitely, and I agree with you. And just from an outside perspective looking in, I thought that's where, if I could point at the end what completely went wrong, I felt the message that he was delivering was not getting to the players.
Mm.
I didn't feel like the players felt inspired anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a grind, the football season, the
Yeah,
football calendar with international play. And so for players to come and give it all for you every single day, the message has to be effective. The message has to
Yeah.
be strong. And I just felt at the end they just weren't, in
yeah.
line, and they weren't as inspired as they were in the beginning.
And how much of that do you think, specifically, coach? How much do you think of that is on the squad? Do you think some of that falls on what the board is giving? Because he did, obviously, he spent a lot of,
Spent a lot.
yeah, he did
Yeah.
spend a lot.
That
Do you,
He
squad is his
did.
squad.
yeah, I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
would you like, is that something you blame him for? Not blame him for, but is that something you like? You can't hold that against him that he didn't have his players, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, he definitely does not escape blame in any of this. Like he at the very least it's 50-50 between him
Yeah.
and the squad. There's going to be aspects obviously that are on him more so than the
Yeah.
players. The players it's hard to say, like, again, this isn't the same group that was associated with the other managers. So it is weird that a lot of his stamp was on this squad.
Yeah.
So it's weird that this would be the one that he kind of would lose that, that connect with in terms of getting a
Yeah,
message,
man.
inspiring them. So yeah, I think a lot of it has to be on the players as well. They have to take responsibility. I think it's different with United. I hate to say it because it's like the cliche, like, United fan thing to say, but like United really it is just different, bro. It's a
Nah, I hear it
bigger,
though. I hear it
it's a
though. I'll
it's
probably
a
say the
bigger,
same thing about Chelsea. It's a big
yeah,
market. It's a big club.
It's a
But United, I'll be honest though. I'm a Chelsea fan. United might be the biggest club in England in terms
yeah, bro.
of before that other dude on this podcast tells me that. Oh, don't say that. In terms of like
Hey
magnitude.
man, we might have to end this episode right now, man. I don't like where this is going.
Nah, bro. Come on, everyone in the. I think it's Chelsea
Man.
United are the two biggest clubs in England.
Yeah,
To be honest,
like
Maybe,
either way, it's more just I think the pressure is just so
yeah.
different with United. Like
There's
people
so
are
much
so
media, and
heavily
you guys have been
scrutinized.
very successful, man. You guys have been
Yeah, so
over the last couple
it's
of
Absolutely.
tough.
decades. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the players kind of folded under that. And I don't know if Ten Hag had the charisma and the communication skills to, help them get through that.
He had
We've
a
seen a lot of
couple
the players
fallouts.
deteriorate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. I don't know.
And last question on, I don't know if you have anything else, Z, but last question on Ten Hag I wanted to ask was, what was like your favorite moment and your least favorite moment under him? And then and then ideally, because you did say that you didn't want him to leave, but was there a time that you think he'd be gone? Or did you just want us to carry on and let him keep not to be
No. That's a good question.
Like,
That's
what
a
was
good
your
question.
take?
Honestly, the favorite moment, there's a few, man. I don't want to go on, but like I think both cup finals. I mean, bro, it was 6 years since we won trophies, so to win back to back was really nice. Barcelona at home, even the away game, but Barcelona at home was
That
a
was
high
phenomenal.
point for me. What a game!
Yeah.
I don't
Bro.
remember this, bro.
Bro, Anthony scoring. I think it might have been the winner at the time, but then the Varane clearance off the line at the end of the match was nuts, bro. What a game!
Damn. Z, do you remember? We got
It
to
was
blur that out.
it
But
was
Z, do you
Europa
remember this?
League.
Huh?
Do you remember this, Z?
The game?
Yeah.
The game? Nah, not at all. He said Anthony scoring, so I sure don't remember it, man.
No,
Hey, we don't be
it was
tapped in
Europa
with
League,
United,
bro. It
man.
was the second leg of Europa League last season or two
Hey,
seasons.
we gonna have to watch the highlights after this, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
bro.
he
Great
said,
game.
hey, Big B. He said Anthony scoring. What?
Dude, man.
Another one where Anthony scored again, a crucial goal. Liverpool at home in the League Cup when we beat them 4-3. Came back.
Did he?
Yeah,
Bro,
came back.
bro, the media would make you think Anthony hasn't done nothing, bro.
Yeah, no, he barely scores, but he tends to score in the big games.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And then I
Least
probably say,
favorite moment.
yeah, I'd say those are probably the highlights. My least favorite, Man, honestly, if I could just wrap up all of last season's Premier League, I
Oh
think
yeah.
that you know what was a real low point. One that stuck out into my mind was it was very early on last season,
Mm.
Brighton at home. We
Oof.
lost
Mm.
3-1,
Yeah.
but that game specifically was one of the most dominating. Like, it's one of the most I've seen a United team get dominated
Yeah.
since, like, bro, low key the Champions League final in 2010 against
Wow,
Barca
it was
or
that
2011.
bad. Wow.
Bro, we got absolutely slaughtered that game. Like,
Yeah.
there was nothing in that game that I
Wow.
even inspired anything in me. Um, but yeah, and then for the last part of the question, I mean, it's tough to say. I didn't like with any United manager. I never think like,
Before you end this, I
yeah,
I have similar because I'm kind of the same in terms of like I just like to see things through. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So what?
yeah.
And Z hates that about me sometimes, but I'll be too patient with managers and players. So carry on, carry on.
Pull that trigger as soon as possible, man.
Man,
If you
nah,
come
I
on,
gotta
man.
disagree with you, Z. I gotta
Come
disagree
on,
with you.
man. Come on, man. I mean, yes, I'm being funny to an effect, but at the same time, man, like we're here to win,
Hmm.
and you can see when it's going right, when it's not. Sometimes
It's
I'll be
hard
in
to
the wrong,
judge.
and
It's hard to
sometimes,
judge.
yeah, sometimes they do need time to
Yeah.
implement. But if I'm looking at Chelsea's previous managers, beside Tuchel, the two after, Mister, the boys gave it all, and then
What about Poch
Poch,
though? You
and
guys,
then
you guys
Poch.
went crazy under Poch last season, though, man. The second half of the
Yeah, we did
season
play well.
was you guys were one of the best teams in
We
the
did
league.
play
Second half of
well.
the season,
I
Yeah,
think just
I was shocked, bro. I
yeah.
was actually shocked
I
when they
was
got rid
too.
of
I'm
you.
not gonna lie.
I think when they looked at it, it was
Full
always a
picture.
season review.
Mm,
And we had games that we dropped that were inexcusable, where we didn't get a result. Not hey, we didn't tie, we didn't get a result,
mm,
and that's inexcusable. And then at the end, I think when it comes to looking ahead, he just didn't fit what
yeah,
Chelsea was looking for in terms of a manager. He was more of a
yeah.
transitional manager,
He was. He was.
get the
And the
get
profile of the squad was more possession based. Poch is
yeah.
up and down. So I
Hmm.
but yeah,
Fair, fair. I like. I mean, I don't like Poch, but I like the idea of him staying there.
yeah.
And that might have just been me wanting managers to stick around, but who knows?
And
Yeah.
then, but your to answer the question,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like with any United manager, I'm never thinking like, oh, when are they gonna go?
yeah.
I'm always kind of just not. That's never where my mind goes. So there wasn't any point where I was like, oh, when is he gonna leave? Maybe like toward the sacking, I was kind of
Yeah.
like I said, there was like the week prior, I actually thought he was gonna get the bullet there,
Did you want
but
him,
he
or do
never
you
did.
think? Or you want him? Yeah, you want him, or do you think he was gonna get the second?
I thought he was gonna get it. I didn't want him to get it though. At no point did I ever want him to get sacked. Like even to the very end.
Man, I want. I
But
have a sick point or a sick conversation I want to have. But how much time do we have, Z? Before I go on a rant. What time?
We
What
can
time
probably
are we
go
at?
for another. We at 18. Probably can
Okay,
go for another 12.
man. Because I seen it was a good. Uh, I forgot where I seen it, but it was basically saying like, why do fans back the manager so much when at the end of the day we're so quick to get a player needs to go, and at the end of the day they say it's like just an employee. Why are we so back the manager when we don't back the players? I want to know what you guys thought about that.
I mean, me personally, I'm also not one that'll ever. You'll never catch me saying like, "Oh, this player needs to leave my
Yeah,
club." Either I'm
you
Yeah.
very
never
much
thought that
on
about
the.
Anthony or Mason Mount
Nope.
or.
You know me.
I
I'm
know
a
you.
big
I know you. I know
Anthony.
it.
I'm
You're
an
a level. Hey,
Antonino guy, man.
you're a level-headed brother, man. Not a lot of us, man.
No, so it might not even be level headed, bro. It literally might just be me. Like I just support the
Yeah.
guys
That's
at my
part of it.
club.
That's part of it, right? We're fans,
It
man.
just is, it is. Like I'll be delusional about it, but I mean that's just how I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I want to
No, it
support.
definitely makes sense.
Yeah, but like I mean, I get that. I get that. Like you can look at it as if they're an employee, but for the way I look at it is for me, I'll just use the example of Ten
Mm.
Hag. Like I know I got the sense I can judge a person's character, and I never got the sense that he did not want the absolute best
Mm-hmm.
for Manchester
Yeah.
United,
100%.
just like I did,
Facts.
just like every fan did. So who am I to like tarnish him for wanting what I want?
Yeah.
Maybe he's not getting it done the way I want it to get done, but like at the end of the day, we want the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just support him in that,
Yeah.
But
No,
that's just me.
100%. Z, what do you think, man?
Man, I think Chelsea fans. This is a very tough question, man. Because I when you grow up in a system where there's always turnover,
Yeah,
you become accustomed to it, and you um, or start looking forward to it.
yeah,
And so for me, when things are not going right, my initial reaction is let's change it. Let's get
yeah.
everybody out of here. Let's start fresh. And I say that because when you look at Chelsea's history,
Hmm.
when we do that, we win. So if it was the case of us not winning and us making all of these changes, then I would be like, hey,
Mm,
there's no need. This is delusional. What are we doing? We
yeah,
need to back up the managers, back up the players. And we do that. We definitely back them up, but we have a limit.
yeah,
We're not gonna back them up extensively. There's a time and a place when all right, we'll start asking these tough questions about whether they're Chelsea material. So
yeah,
for us, it's for me at least, and the way I see it as from some of the fans' perspective, I think it's just
Yeah.
inbred
no,
in us
100%.
to have a quicker
And
trigger compared to other fan bases
yeah,
because we've seen the
Yeah,
success.
I think you guys are a little bit different in that regard because
100%.
your most successful period, arguably, yeah, your most successful period was with that constant.
Yeah, bro.
Like I think the most constant you had was Jose for what
Yeah,
3 to 4
three to
seasons.
four. But also, you could
Hmm.
Is that
say
the
that
most?
we also had some terrible seasons when we flipped these managers.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that. That's there's a good and bad, right? And
yeah.
I
There's a
think
good and bad.
as with this new ownership, I know it's about United, but with this new ownership coming to Chelsea now, it's I think they're trying to find that stability. Like that's why they're signing these players to these long contracts, and the manager is a 5 year plan now, and they're not
Yeah,
even telling
Yeah.
him you have to win this. The thing is like build something, So,
yeah.
and I think
I could see that. I could see that
City
too.
Have set a great foundation for a lot of clubs
Yeah,
to
and
follow.
like from the outside in for you guys, like
Hmm.
that was the sense I was getting, and
Hmm.
that's why I was so shocked when Poch got the sack because
Yeah,
like in my head, you guys, I was like, oh, okay, Chelsea are really turning a new leaf here.
yeah.
They're turning into a team that's gonna back the manager, and then the next thing I know, on the next
I
plane
just think they
out.
didn't find the right candidate. Like those
Yeah,
first
yeah,
couple, they
yeah.
just
Fair enough.
fodder and all these.
Absolutely. And you mentioned City, and I think this is a great segue into confirmed the new Manchester United manager, Amorim. Today, they play City in the Champions League
Yeah,
4-1. You
Yeah,
talked about, hey, this is the new hot kid on the block. Is he worth it? Are we repeating Ten Hag? And I must say, man, Chelsea were looking at Amorim over the
yeah.
summer.
A
yeah.
And
lot of
also,
clubs
we're
were.
seeing
Mm,
and we're seeing the results he's having today. Manchester City 4-1, very dominant performance.
hmm.
Would love to hear your thoughts on the hire and what you think in terms of is it going to work out
Yeah.
or do you have questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely have questions and I like
Mhm.
skeptical as you always will be, but yeah, like you said, I mean, this performance today it didn't really change anything for me because I watched that Ten Hag team dismantle one of the Real Madrid at their height
Yeah.
4-1 at the Bernabeu. So like,
And
is it different?
another. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
another
no,
non big league manager.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the thing. So, but the hire itself, I mean, I was talking to one of our other friends about this yesterday, actually. Um, if Ten Hag was to go, and I was looking at the pool of managers available, it would have for me personally, it would have been down to Nagelsmann
Mm.
or Amorim,
Yeah.
or just sticking with Rude. I mean,
Yeah.
you know me.
Yeah,
But I
definitely.
wasn't. I'm not ready for another club legend because I don't want to see them get tarnished
Man,
again
it's
like they did
hey,
with
bro.
Yeah.
Kobe.
They having a
So
Lampard with us, man.
yeah, and I love Rude, so I don't want that to happen. So it was between Nagelsmann and Amorim probably. So I'm happy with the hire. Like I think again we kind of go back to it, but like he's the new hot kid on the block. He's a very young manager, which is where
Mhm.
my questions kind of come in. 39.
True.
This guy played with Ronaldo.
That's crazy.
Um, he kind of comes from
Insane.
that.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's like
it's
JJ
crazy,
Redick, bro.
bro. He literally played at
Yeah,
United. He played
exactly.
at Old Trafford.
That's
There's
like
pictures of him
Wow,
at Old Trafford,
that's
bro, playing.
wild.
that's
Um,
insane.
but
Was he a good player, by the way?
honestly, I for as a player, I have very very little memory of this man
Yeah.
playing. So I'm
Yeah,
sure he's probably just a steady player.
Yeah.
Um,
Maresca like.
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
I mean,
I
he
really
played he
think
played
so.
for some good teams though. He did play for some good clubs. But
Question for you. I'll
yeah,
go ahead,
no,
finish.
no, go ahead.
You mentioned an interesting point, and I'd love to kind of dig deeper into that. When you mentioned the managers that you would have preferred, we heard a lot of chatter of Southgate
Oh my
coming to
god,
Old Trafford. And selfishly, we were chirping and echoing and wanting that to go through. What happened? Is it because the firing happened too soon?
bro.
Southgate needs the time to regroup,
Southgate would die
or
in England in the Prem.
Bro, okay,
what? What
let me just say to begin this, I would, you guys know I'm the most anti Southgate person that's alive, bro. So that would have been worst case scenario for me, hands down.
yeah,
But I will say I don't think there was ever any actual traction in the Southgate to United rumors. They're pretty not the most credible journalists,
Mm.
and there were some very credible journalists reporting at the same time, like, listen, there's no links between Southgate and United. Like, this is just talk, paper talk. So for
yeah.
me, although like
Okay.
I was stressed about it just because that was literally nightmare level stuff,
Yeah.
I never actually thought it was gonna happen. But Nagelsmann, I
Gotcha.
think, was actually an option, but his thing is that he wants to be with Germany for
World
Mm.
Cup.
the World Cup in 26. So I
So,
think that's
Yeah.
where the sacking kind of came a little too early for him.
so it sounds like
No.
you're with Amorim, you're I don't want to say indecisive, but you just
Yeah, no, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm indecisive. I'm just at
plain.
this point. Yeah, I'm playing because at this
Yeah.
point, I saw all this hype with Ten Hag,
Yeah.
and it's like the same exact people that are hyping up the
Yeah.
Amorim appointment were the same people hyping up the Ten Hag one. So
Mhm.
it's like
It's tiring,
when
man.
it's tiring. I'm exhausted. Well,
It's
I'm
tiring.
exhausted, B, bro. That's
Oh
where I'm
yeah.
at. That's where I'm
No,
at with it.
I feel you. Two questions for you. The first question, really want to get what are your expectations for the rest of the season for Amorim and Manchester United? And then the other question, did you see his press conference when one of the English
Oh
journalists
man.
was telling him you have to speak in English? We can touch on that first. What was
Yeah.
going on there?
Oh my god. I sent this in a group chat too. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life.
And
Like
he
the,
handled it like a champ. He
Entitled.
just kept smiling through it.
yeah, he did,
He
He
bro.
got some charm to him, bro. I ain't gonna
That
lie.
and that to bring this back to the first conversation we had, I think that is the main difference between Ten
Yeah.
Hag and Amorim, because honestly, their tactical profiles are
It's
quite
pretty
similar.
similar, yeah.
As with a lot of these new managers are, they all have
yeah.
some very similar tactical profiles. But I think the difference is he has charisma
Yeah.
about him.
Some
He's
personality.
able to garner that
Yeah.
inspiration from the players, the fans, etc.
Mm.
But yeah, like you said, the press conference, he handled it so well,
Yeah.
which is not an easy thing to do when you're the new Manchester United manager, but also the sporting manager who he loves sporting and he's
Mhm.
trying to win
Exactly.
a match against
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola and Man City.
Stand up guy.
Yeah, stand up guy. So, but that reporter Gary Cottrell is his name. He's got a long standing
I
history of
heard, bro.
being a
I seen
scumbag.
something about it. Yeah.
Oh.
Scumbag.
Yeah, okay,
And then,
okay.
and
So
then,
it wasn't out of the blue.
No, no,
Okay.
no. But he like the entitlement was crazy.
yeah,
Like,
no, it's outrageous.
oh, he said this line that really made me mad. Where he's like, "Oh, it's kind of like a cold shoulder to your English fan." And I'm like,
Come on, man.
bro,
What are you
slow
getting
That's
at?
harsh,
What?
man. That's just harsh.
And he my biggest issue with it all was he just kept
Kept going.
rephrasing his
yeah,
statement. Yeah, he just kept going. And I'm like, how many times is this guy gonna say no and sorry before he starts, crashing out?
it was disgusting. It was disgusting. But then for your first question, expectation wise, honestly, I really don't know at this point. I will say though, I think the sacking came at this was probably the last juncture where it could have happened if you're looking at it from the board's point of view, because the season is still at a point where it is just about salvageable.
They're not too far off.
We're only 6 points off
Yeah,
of
it's not
fourth, which is you guys, and Nottingham Forest are 1 point above you in third.
Mhm.
They're probably not going to withhold
Yeah,
that.
they're doing
So
great though. But you
it'll
do.
take a
Exactly.
run from us in the league,
Yeah.
but
But you
like
got to give him his
6 points.
time too. Just to
Exactly,
distill
exactly. But 6 points off of fourth isn't at the point right now
Mhm.
where it's like the league is written
For
off.
sure.
We can still maybe make a run for fourth. The same can be said for our European standings.
Are
as
you guys
well.
in Carabao Cup still?
Yeah, we're still in all the cups. Like we're still the season's still somewhat alive at this
Mhm.
point. So that's why I think the sacking was the last juncture where they could have had it done. So for expectations, I think bro, just getting the honestly, ground zero for me is, bro, we got to start scoring goals. Like we
Yeah.
need to start scoring
Bro,
goals.
y'all
If I
scored
see
So
some
what, like
goals
frustrating.
going
5
in,
goals in the Prem so far?
oh my god, bro, the amount of
Yeah, it's
times
so
I've celebrated
frustrating.
this season, I can count on one hand. I
That's
think, bro,
outrageous, bro.
Yeah,
Have you guys?
crazy.
You guys have created though.
We have like the stats like, oh, we lead the league in big
Yeah,
chances missed. We're
XG.
XG. Yeah,
Man.
I mean, for me, man, it's just we're not putting the ball in the net at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's all it is, you know. So
Fair.
the expectations that we got to start scoring, we got to start hopefully getting better results,
Yeah.
and then we'll kind of see where it goes. Like if he can get us in a respectable league position, maybe get a cup, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You got be gentle with him though in this first.
yeah. I think at this point, like they just gotta. This has to be the one, you know.
100%.
But
100%.
we'll
Nah,
see.
I'm excited to who he's gonna bring in during the transfer window, how he's gonna have the squad.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about the striker, man.
Yeah, my man. 3 today,
Yeah,
by the way. Woo-wee.
yeah.
that's a remarkable, man. And now I think it's a great opportunity. We're talking about goals, man. So let's go to the match of last week: Manchester United, Chelsea, Old Trafford. Big B was telling me Chelsea hasn't won in Old Trafford in years, maybe a decade.
This fixture
Man,
sucks.
It sucks,
dude,
bro.
it really does.
It's the most
Perfect.
drawn fixture in the last. It's the whole Premier League history. This is the most
Bro,
drawn.
this fixture sucks, man. And let me tell you, that game was one of the lowest quality games
It
of
was.
footy I've seen in a long time, bro.
That was probably
League
Chelsea's
One.
worst game of the season too. Like
Dude, no passes completed
Yeah.
from any team, bro.
Yeah.
It was tough to watch, but man, weird game though too.
Yeah.
I think the draw is probably fair,
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
We missed. I think Garnacho himself missed quite a few
Yeah.
chances. There was the one that infuriated me the most was the cutback from Bruno.
Yo, when he scuffed it.
Yep,
Yeah, bro. It's what's it called, bro? I think you guys had bigger chances than us. But
maybe, but like I think at the end of the day, like you guys created some chances too. And you know you got your goal off of the great goal, by the way, from Caicedo.
Yeah.
What a hit!
What a hit.
But I mean, there was a few where Cole Palmer got through. De Ligt had a good little block on him. I don't think Nico Jackson ever really got any chances. There was one where Neto it kissed wide just from the post.
Yeah, man. If that would have just curled in, man, we would have had something there, man. And he was so decisive in taking it. I really liked it.
Yeah, so I think overall the draw is probably fair. It wasn't a great match. I think from our perspective, Garnacho just one of the most selfish players I've ever seen.
He got so much stick after this game, bro.
He's so selfish. Yeah, he's getting a lot of stick. People need to, relax a little bit, man. These men weren't outside for the early days of Ronaldo either, bro. Very similar shades, man.
Yeah.
But this is a true fan, y'all, man.
But I mean, he's selfish though. Like at the end of the day, like he was very selfish. He's been like that all season and last season. He's very selfish, but that's why he always has a moment in him, you know, because he's always just gonna keep going.
Hey, Madueke vibes.
Oh, is that like Noni?
Oh, absolutely. Me and Big B have always harped on this. We like our players to be selfish, but to an extent, we like our players to have that confidence and swagger because I think it radiates into the whole field. Exactly. But at the same time, man, I can have sympathy with what you're saying because there are moments where, my man, this is not the right decision.
Nope.
Pass the ball, take it back. And we stumble across that as well. Any other reactions to the game, whether Big B or Coach?
I mean, like for the Garnacho thing, we saw when Casemiro made that tackle and started screaming at him.
Yo, I like to see that. I'm not even a Chelsea. I'm not even a United supporter, but I just some.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think from our point of view, I think Mazraoui, great signing by the way. He was very good that game.
Big fan of him.
Yeah, he was really good. I was big fan. I like what Højlund did. Tough match against two good center backs.
He played great. I was thinking too.
Yeah, I think our midfield was pretty solid. I think just overall we had a solid.
You guys look more structured too.
I think there was a lot of emphasis from Ruud to get the ball forward. Kind of went a little bit more direct than I probably would have liked, but I could see why he was trying to do it. We're at home, trying to get the fans going.
We play kind of
get some goals, but overall not a great game. I mean, I think pretty good in the grand scheme of things. I think you guys will probably be more pleased with the result. You know, a draw away from home. You
Yeah.
guys stay in the top four. But yeah,
All right,
that's
man.
probably all I could think of.
No, definitely, definitely. Myself, selfishly, Big B might feel cool, calm, cool, collected that a draw away from home is good. I
Nah,
wanted the
I
three
wanted to.
points.
I
I
wanted the
am,
three.
No,
I
no,
am tired
definitely.
of tying United or losing. I am tired. I needed the points, especially at Old Trafford. But
Facts.
hey,
That would
we'll
have
have
felt. Hey,
another
that would have felt
opportunity.
good, man. That would've felt
We'll have another opportunity when they come to the bridge later this season. And with that, man, Coach, we appreciate your presence. We thank you for your insights, for supporting the channel, for giving us feedback. Man, you've been tremendous, and thank you for finally making this episode come to fruition. And I gotta say, man, when we look ahead, we'll definitely have you more to have you
Yeah,
on
yeah,
more
Yeah.
often, especially if we have a Chelsea Manchester United game later in the
most
season.
definitely.
Yes, sir.
Nah,
Thank you,
man. I just
coach.
want to say thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a great time. Like I said, I love everything you guys are doing. Keep it going, keep up the momentum. It's gonna be some good times ahead, but I'll always be back, bro. Just hit my line, I'll be there.
Coach.
Coach, yeah, most definitely, man. Hey, and with that, everybody, man, thank you for tuning in. Let us know your feedback. Let us know your reaction. Appreciate the insights. Appreciate your commitment to the channel. And we'll see y'all next time, man. Take care, everybody.
Peace.